Every game begins the same way.
Hey Birdland! What's up, you Orange and Black Nation? I'm speaking to you directly from my studio to bring you the hardest information and the most precise analysis you've come to know and trust. Before we dive headfirst into what really matters, into that inside scoop you only find here, I need to ask for that usual favor. If you live and breathe the Baltimore Orioles, if you proudly shout "oh" during the national anthem and believe in the process Mike Elias is building, then scroll down a bit and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, because the season is in full swing and the moves never stop. Trust me, you won't want to be left out of what I'm about to reveal. Let's get down to business. The 2025 MLB draft was a period of intense activity for our front office, and we followed every second of it. As expected, following the almost sacred playbook of Mike Elias, the initial focus was heavily on position players. With 4 picks on the first day, including compensatory selections, the strategy was clear: stack high-impact talent at the plate. It's the philosophy that lifted us from the league's basement and turned us into a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with in the American League East. We saw this approach work with Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, and the tide of young talent that continues to rise from Norfolk. The idea is simple and brilliant in its execution. Build a solid offensive foundation with players who have an incredibly high ceiling, and then, with that base secured, fill the gaps on the mound. However, this year, we saw a small but significant adjustment to that doctrine. The selection of 2 pitchers as early as the second round signaled an awareness from the front office that to sustain long-term success, we need to not only acquire but also develop quality arms. The spectacular trade that brought in Corbin Burnes was a win-now move, a declaration that our window of contention is wide open. But Burnes unfortunately won't be an Oriole forever without a massive contract extension. And the reality of modern baseball is that you need a constant, affordable pipeline of pitchers coming from your farm system. This is where the true genius of a front office is revealed, not just in the obvious top of the draft picks, but in the ability to find value where others don't. The need for arms is a constant concern for all of Birdland. We've seen what Kyle Bradish and Dean Kremer have become, and we've seen how our depth has been tested with injuries like those to John Means and Tyler Wells in the past. Therefore, the search for pitchers cannot stop, ever. It must be a continuous, aggressive, and creative operation that extends far beyond the first few rounds of the draft. And it is precisely at this point, dear fans, that today's news fits perfectly into our team's macro strategy, revealing just how deep and detailed the plan is for Mike Elias and his team. The hunt for talent doesn't end when the last name is called in the draft. In fact, for a smart organization like ours, that's when a new phase of talent acquisition begins. A phase perhaps even more crucial for building the depth that separates good teams from champions. I'm talking about the undrafted free agent, UDFA market, a fertile ground for teams that have elite development systems and the ability to identify specific traits in players who are overlooked by 30 other teams. It's a treasure hunt, a search for diamonds in the rough that, with the right polishing, can become valuable pieces for the future. And it is in this exact scenario of hunting for hidden talent that the Baltimore Orioles have just made an extremely intelligent move that says a lot about the magnetic pull our organization has built. I have confirmed through reliable sources and the player's own announcement on his social media. The Orioles have signed right-handed pitcher DJ Hennon from Augustana University in South Dakota. Now, the name might not be familiar to most, and that's understandable. He wasn't on the top prospect lists, not a name called during the 3 days of the draft. But it's the story behind the signing that makes me so optimistic, and that should excite all of Birdland. Hennon wasn't just any college player. He had already committed to taking his talents to the University of Nebraska, a Big Ten program, one of the strongest and most competitive conferences in college baseball. The decision to forego that opportunity at a major university to sign a UDFA contract with the Orioles is a resounding testament to the reputation our pitching development system has earned. Players and agents now see Baltimore as an elite destination, a place where a pitcher with raw stuff can be molded and transformed into a major leaguer. But let's get into the details, the numbers that certainly caught the attention of our analytics department. In 2025, playing for Augustana, Hennon made 13 appearances, 10 of which were starts, and logged 56.2 innings. His ERA was 4.29, a number that at first glance doesn't jump off the page. However, our front office's job is to look beyond the obvious. The stat that really matters and that flashes like a neon sign for our scouts is the opponent's batting average against him. Just .187, that is elite. It indicates that despite the ERA, Hennon's stuff, the quality of his pitches, is extremely difficult to make solid contact against. And the power of his arm is confirmed by another spectacular number, 74 strikeouts in those 56.2 innings. That translates to an average of 11. 7 strikeouts per 9 innings, a swing and miss rate that is simply elite. So we have a pitcher with a power arm who racks up strikeouts and who is incredibly hard to hit. The obvious question is, why did he go undrafted? The answer lies on the other side of the coin, control. Hennon issued 41 walks in 2025. That's the project. He is the perfect prototype of the pitcher our pitching factory loves. An athlete with elite tools, velocity, spin rate, ability to generate whiffs, who has not yet mastered his command. The Orioles' bet is that their coaching staff, with all the technology and biomechanics available at our development complex, can tweak his mechanics, refine his consistency, and turn this raw talent into a complete pitcher. It's a calculated risk, a low-cost gamble with a potentially massive return. The signing of DJ Hennon in itself will not change the destiny of our 2025 season. He is not the piece that will carry us to the World Series in October. However, this move is a perfect microcosm of the sustainable and intelligent philosophy being built in Baltimore. It represents a commitment to finding value in every corner of the market, a confidence in our development system, and the relentless pursuit of pitching depth. It is by adding players like Hennon, high upside lottery tickets, that we ensure the machine keeps running for years to come, supplying cheap, controllable arms to support our powerful offensive core. Now, I want to hear from you, the O's Nation, the true soul of Birdland. What do you think of this strategy of pursuing raw talents with high strikeout potential, but who need polishing on the undrafted market? Do you trust our pitching lab to turn a pitcher like DJ Hennon into a future major league contributor? Leave your comments below. Don't forget, for more exclusive news, in-depth analysis, and the most complete coverage of the Baltimore Orioles, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here on our channel, you'll always be one step ahead.